Hey y'all, this is Lily. I'm so sorry for the background noise. I'm having to film this in our shower, and it's connected to in our bathroom. It's connected to our laundry room, so that's that noise you're hearing. I'm also having to use my notebook for notes throughout this because I'm not very good at memorization. But the two multi-skills that I feel are most essential to understanding the cultural understandings of things and diversity and whatnot are definitely empathy and self-awareness. I believe empathy is one of the most essential ones because it kind of allows you to put yourself in someone else's shoes and kind of like a reality check for people and their version of what the world looks like, their experiences that they've gone through, just a genuine connection with somebody without judgment. And let's be real, most people crave empathy, but I think that empathy is something that as a counselor, even like a minister or a preacher, whatever it may be, empathy kind of opens that door of trust, and it can allow a spiritual connection whenever somebody feels like this is a safe space to come to. It creates that connection. The best way to increase empathy for me is, I think, active listening is a great habit to make of. Active listening, it's different because you can engage in a conversation. Active listening means you are kind of mentally taking notes and understanding what somebody may be going through. Also, the spiritual connection, of course. Empathy aligns perfectly with Jesus' ministry. I mean, how often do we see him giving empathy to so many people? And with empathy comes forgiveness as well, which is one of the last things that Jesus did before he died on the cross. So that must be pretty important. You can't enter heaven without an unforgiving heart. Empathy is just another word for compassion, which is what Jesus was all about. So I don't feel like you can really be in walk with God if you lack empathy. And the second one, of course, is self-awareness. Like I said before, I feel like that is so essential right under empathy, because you can't understand others well if you don't understand yourself first. This is something that you kind of learn a lot throughout counseling. What I learned is broke people can't help broke people. If you're going through things on your own and you've got a lot going on in your life and you're not sure what to do, how are you to help somebody else? It's kind of like a hypocrisy type of situation you're dealing with. You're kind of a hypocrite, telling people this is what you need to do, but then you're not doing it yourself. It can also, self-awareness helps you to understand whenever you're wrong, because let's be honest, sometimes we all struggle with admitting whenever we're wrong. I'm guilty of it. It is hard to swallow my pride and say, I am wrong, I owe you an apology, I did this incorrectly. That is hard to do, but once you can tackle that, you see your life differently, and that's how it's been for me. Whenever I finally just take a step back, and maybe it's hard to admit I'm wrong, I just say, okay, I know I was out of line, I know I was incorrect, I assumed the worst, I assumed wrong. I can breathe better. You just have a more sense of peace, and it gets easier from that. How to increase self-awareness: you can journal, you can pray, you can reflect on your life, and the spiritual connection is it's just humility. Self-awareness is essentially just humility, and humility, it's not an easy thing to accomplish. It can be hard because it's hard to decipher between being proud and having humility. Those are hard to understand and to differentiate between the younger you are. But in Psalms sorry, I'm on it. Psalms 139, I'm kind of reiterating, it says to search me and know me. Inviting God to tell him, God, search my heart, help me understand who I am, so that way I can fix me, so I can help others to fix themselves. Scripture for growth, there's just so many, but James 1:9 is a really good one. It says everyone should be quick to listen, so to speak, and so to become angry. I mean, that's just quick to listen, so to speak. That's part of active listening. That's part of that empathy. And so to anger is kind of like self-awareness. You gotta check yourself. You gotta say, okay, I need to be self-aware of situations like this. I run my mouth, or I get aggravated easily. I need to take a step back. But those are just very good things, a good scripture to rely on.